Hey everybody out there in TV land, welcome to yet another episode of Let's Talk Gunpla with Uber's Cosplay. And what's in that box? We're kind of doing a combination stream this evening because our shipment of model kits and accessories and Bandai stuff and Gundam and Pokemon stuff and all types of interesting pieces showed up. So we said, you know what the heck, let's do them all together so that we can just give you guys as much information as possible, as quickly as possible. Just as a friendly reminder, my PSA, remember we have our Cosplay FanFest episode 5 on April 30th, which is the last Saturday of this month from 5 p.m. to 2 a.m. We're going to have everything from a secret cosplay contest to otaku food, which is like Japanese street food, boba tea, different crafters and artists. We're having karaoke for the night. Nate Takes will be here doing one-shots. We're having Glitter Poops and her crowd coming out to do tattooing, and of course the arcade games and video games and giveaways, and one of our cool giveaway items and or cosplay prize things are going to be, we got 4 weekend passes donated to us by Florida SuperCon. That will be part of that, and then I'm working on a bunch of other giveaways. So that is on April 30th from 5 p.m. to 2 a.m., and Glitter Poops and her crew will probably start about 1 p.m., but I'll give you more information on that later. And of course, every Thursday night, since we're talking about Gundam, we have our Build and Paint Night from 8 p.m. to 12 a.m. here at Flynn's. And with all the new space and additional space, our collection of Gundam for you to purchase is consistently growing. Ben is doing a great job keeping up with our pre-orders. We just had a huge, successful Gundam build contest.
That was a lot of fun.
A lot of fun, a lot of talented builders, a lot of new builders. Ben did a killer job on the videos, which I still need to compile all of them together. And
I gave you the link.
You gave me the link, yeah. So I got to compile them all together so we have one stream longer video for it.
Yeah.
But we had a huge, great turnout for that. And that's pretty much it, guys. Be sure to follow us on TikTok and Twitter and Facebook and Instagram and YouTube, all at Flynn's Gaming FL. And my partner in crime this evening, as always, is
Ben, a.k.a. Uber's Cosplay.
Ben, Uber's Cosplay, and you are on Instagram and Facebook.
Pretty much just Google Uber's Cosplay. You'll find me on something.
So it's UBERS Cosplay. Google it, and you'll find him everywhere. You will see him, I guess, at the next convention, which will be MizuCon.
Yeah,
May.
I'll be at MizuCon. I'll be doing a couple panels there with Cody Cosplay at S15. Going to be doing some Gundam stuff. Going to be doing some cosplay panels and stuff like that. So if you're interested in my cosplay work, check out those workshops and panels. Should be pretty fun.
And that'll be at the end of May, I believe.
The date escapes me off the top of my
Yeah,
head.
I don't really know where it is. I always forget where it is or when it is, but it is in May. MizuCon 2022. Look them up. Flynn's will also be there doing a premium panel for entry-grade Gundam building that you'll be able to leave with a kit. They haven't announced the specifics yet, but we'll be there as well. But anyways, we got a lot to go through, so appreciate you tuning in. Where should we begin, Ben?
I say we just start with the first box.
Okay,
You wanna do
perfect.
yours?
So I'll do mine. So we have our segment that we're doing this evening is what's in that box alongside all our Let's Talk Gunpla stuff. So we have a plethora of items, and what we'll try to do is as we move through them, Ben will briefly explain what they are, and because we have a lot to go through. So we'll start with some accessory kits, and then I'll kind of cluster them together.
Yeah, first off, if you guys have been following 30-minute mission kits, we've got some more accessory packs. These are the Radome kits, so good for doing like an EWAX version of a certain suit. And the good thing about the 30-minute mission stuff is most of this is compatible with the high-grade Gundam line as well as the new 30-minute sister line. So there's a lot of option for customizability here. We also have the red type option for Elite Officer. So this is like a command horn and some additional armor for what would be like an enemy-style commander suit. Very much reminiscent of like a Zaku 2 commander type there. So
and they fit high grades, they fit 30-minute mission kits, most high grades.
Anything with a 2mm peg, which is, or 2 or 3mm peg, sorry, get my number mixed up there. But this is compatible with pretty much any of the newer high grades, the 30-minute mission sisters, and
real grade
kits, stuff like that. But the real grade kits don't have a lot of the pegs, but the parts could be easily modified to work in that kind of kit format. But yeah, the good thing about these is the price point is very low. These ones on the cards are only like a couple bucks. The 30-minute mission kits themselves are anywhere from 15 to 20 bucks, and very easy entry point. And just like the name says, you can pretty much build a kit in 30 minutes.
Now, speaking of 30-minute mission kits, I know some of you guys are fans of the Sisters.
Yes.
So we have
Some of the Sisters options armor. This is the stealth armor type. This is just like the other ones. It's not the actual girl on the inside. It's just the armor pack. So if you got like a body or one of the other kits that you like, but you want to change the armor style, this is the stealth armor. It's like a high-speed EWAX style armor. That's for those.
and another 30-minute mission Sisters accessories.
Yeah, and these are the body types. One of the good things about the kit is depending on your taste, you can switch out different bodies, and that can change the skin tone, change the way the clothes are, the hair, all kinds of things like that. These specifically are different style torsos. Like some of the kits don't have the tummy on the kit showing, so they give you parts on here to show that. Change the thighs, change the chest, a lot of neat options. Customizability for your kits.
Now jumping into Pokemon.
Yes.
Pokemon, looks like we got some Jigglypuffs.
These are very popular kits, especially for people that are new into the hobby. They're basically like the entry grade kits because these are super simple to build. You don't even need nippers to cut the parts out.
We can switch the camera too because they're so small. You could actually throw it in front.
Yeah, because the gates are so thin to where you can just pop these out with your hands. And these are usually like 10, maybe 15 bucks tops. So very simple, very low price point, great for beginners, great for kids. And I mean, who doesn't love Jigglypuff?
They go very quickly. So
Yeah.
if you want Pokemon, you really definitely want to make a run on it. Now, we do have these, but we're not really sure when we're going to put them out.
Yeah, we had some shipment delays. So I know in the past we had the Yu-Gi-Oh! Millennium Puzzle. This is the Ultimate Gear sarcophagus for the Millennium Puzzle. So if you guys were one of the people that picked these up, maybe come in and tell Eddie and he can pull them up from behind the shelf. But we really don't want to put these out until we get more of the puzzles themselves because it seems kind of pointless just to have the model of the sarcophagus. But yeah, we will be getting more of the Millennium Puzzle kits in the future
I like
as well.
that it says on it storage.
Yeah, because you can actually break, if you look at the side, you actually break down the puzzle and it fits inside.
Oh, and I know the puzzle didn't come with instructions.
No, because that's one of the gimmicks. It's like they want you to actually be able to put it together just like in the show. So I'm going to go ahead and put these sarcophagi aside.
Now we have a variety of SD kits, and I mean, we don't need to go through each single one at a time because I very seldom do that. But you can kind of rattle off.
Yeah, we have a lot of the SD Heroes kits. You got the Arsene Gundam X.
And SD stands for?
Super Deformed.
And they're a lot smaller. I like SD kits. The price point's fairly lower, 10 bucks, 11 bucks, 12 bucks. It's fairly low, and also I find that there's a lot of surface area. So if you're looking to get in painting or modifying, it's a great place to start to get your skills down and working with this sort of plastic. And
yeah, they usually have like a lot of stickers, usually some effect parts as well. So it's like a nice intro to the hobby. And like if you like the designs, but maybe you like Gundam, but you want something like a little more cute on your shelf, like if that fits in with your collection, these guys are a good option for that.
And they also take up less room
Yeah,
predominantly.
very small.
So they can go on top of a computer, inside a computer, on your shelf. They don't take up a lot of space. But there are, sometimes when it comes to SD kits, you do want to pay attention because you'll see the SD and then what CD next to it.
There's different kinds. There's done a lot of different lines. Like this is just the SD Heroes line.
No, but the ones where you can add the excess,
That's
the body thing.
Those are cross-frame kits.
So CF?
SD CF kits.
CF. So you always want to pay attention and always look at even if you're not buying them here, make sure if you're trying to get one that transforms to a larger frame type, it does not come with the additional pieces all the time.
You can build the kit on its own, it's fine, but if you want to have like a more fully posable kit or like a larger scale, you need to have the frame.
Right.
And they usually don't come with the frame.
Yeah.
These are not actually those cross-frame kits.
No, these aren't that.
I don't think we have any of those coming in right now because they're still on order. But this is the SD Shinanju, very badass looking enemy suit from Unicorn.
And then you have, I've never seen these before.
This is the horse, also from the SD Heroes line. So some of the Gundam suits can actually ride this because I know you're not familiar with the show, but it's basically like War of the Kingdoms.
Oh, okay.
Sort of like Dynasty Warriors, but Gundam. So
I like Dynasty Warriors.
Yeah, so it's kind of like the mobile suits are not piloted; they're actually characters.
Now this is unique, and I'll put it in front of camera too because this is so different. We don't have it a lot.
This is the LED unit for the Perfect Grade Gundam Unicorn. If you've already got the Perfect Grade Gundam Unicorn, it has a lighting gimmick that you have to buy this to activate. You'll see on the back some pictures of the suit all lit up. And I actually have 2 of these kits, but I don't have the lighting unit, so I might pick this one up myself. But yeah, we do have some of the Perfect Grade kits coming in. It's just going to be probably a few more orders before they arrive. But yeah, if anyone was looking for the LED unit for the Gundam Unicorn, we've got that here.
And speaking of 30-minute missions, it looks like we have a few 30-minute mission kits coming in.
Some new ones. This one is going to be really, really popular, I think.
Go for it.
This is the Spinato Army type. The Spinato is kind of like it really reminds me of like some of the robots from Pat Labor. It's like a very soldier, like generic looking grunt type unit. But yeah, very, very cool. He's got like a very tactical, like gas mask style face, some cool like assault rifle style weapons.
And super basic, guys. On the side of the kits, if you look at where it says, you can't see it from this far, but it says assembly. Always, like I encourage you, look at the sides, the perimeter of the top lid. It'll tell you specifics. This one specifically says, you know, you don't need glue, you don't need to paint it, you don't need nippers. You don't need to do anything to it other than pop it out and then have fun with building it. Highly customizable.
These ones do need nippers.
It's weird right there.
It doesn't have the X through it.
Oh, my bad. I didn't see the X. So you're going to need nippers to pop it out. But once again, see, I didn't even read it. You should read it. It will help you.
It is in Japanese. So
well, you can see the icon. But, you know, a lot of times they kind of show you the posability. And whenever people come asking what's the kit going to be like, I'm like, look at the side and look at the posability and the action stances and see if that's something you like.
Yeah.
And if it is, go for it.
Yeah, but these, like earlier when I was showing the armor packs, these are all compatible, so you can make something that's unique to you.
And the thing is with Gundam, you never know when you're going to see it again, so you might as well pick it up.
Yeah, and we got more of those coming in the future.
So we
because I know those are
got-
going to be popular. This is from Warrior on the Borderline. This is that show that was just recently running. This is the Nairuan. I think I'm pronouncing that right. But it's this is the mass production unit from the Asian faction in the story. Like there's like a coalition of Asian nations, and that's what they use as their grunt unit.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, so it's kind of like this stripped down, very grunt-like unit, but it's got a lot of firepower. It's got that big gun. It's got an underarm missile launcher. We've got 2 of these guys, I think, maybe more. But yeah, if you like some of these designs from Warrior on the Borderline, check these out.
Now, this one looks familiar. Do they make this in a master grade?
Yes, they do. This is the RGM 79C Cold Districts type.
It's pretty cool.
No, sorry, this is not the Cold Districts type. This is the regular type. They do have a Cold District type, but that's not what this is. This is like a mass production version of the GM. I believe this showed up in Gundam 0083. Yeah, Stardust Memory. So this is like a GM from the 1-year war that's a little bit upgraded for 3 years later.
And they had that, and this does come in master grade. So
This does come in. It does come in master grade, but I want to say that the Cold District type master grade is like a P Bandai one.
Okay.
I don't think it's a normal release. I could be wrong though.
Beautiful. Looks like we have a couple more high grades. Remember, guys, if you're watching this, you don't know what it stands for. HG in the corner is high grade.
Yeah.
1 and 144 scale.
Yeah, this is the Dagger L. This is from Gundam Seed Destiny.
That's really cool looking.
Is that Seed Destiny? Yeah, Destiny. The Dagger L is like a mass production version of like one of the Strike Gundam earlier on. Basically like that story's version of the GM. This is a very recent kit. Let's see, yeah, 2021. So very, very nice, very color accurate, and a very good grunt suit. Seed Designs had some really nice grunt suits, so I'm nice.
So what's
to see
the
this
deal
one.
with the corner with the wings?
Oh, you can take wing like striker packs, because one of the things in the show is like you have a base suit, and then for different combat situations, you would have a different backpack.
Oh,
So you can
okay.
take a backpack like there from a Windam, which is a different suit, and hook it up to the Dagger L, so it could be like a flight type.
Whoa. Man, it shows you like the color accurate, how far it's come.
Yeah,
Like-
they're nice.
That's really cool. And it shows you the weapons.
With
Awesome.
a beam saber and a rifle on
Now,
it.
so we got some unique ones. I know you always are picking up the unique ones, and they sell quite well.
Yeah, these are the science kits that are coming out now. Exploring Lab Nature. There's more of these coming out. This one specifically is the woolly mammoth. So it's you build a skeleton of the woolly mammoth, and then there's a shell outside to have the actual skin and everything like that.
And it's weird. It says put it in your refrigerator after.
Well, yeah, you can like freeze it. It's supposed to be frozen at ice.
Frozen ice.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, it's awesome.
Yeah, but it's actually it's not just a statue. It is actually lightly posable. But stuff like this is just neat. I have some of the dinosaur kits that are on order as well. I think we had the T-Rex at one point.
Yeah.
Probably already sold.
Yeah, we sold those.
They have one coming out that's like a great white shark.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so these are pretty neat. I like to pick up just a couple of these because, I don't want to have a ton of them on our shelf if they don't do well, but I want to have some unique, interesting stuff as well.
And everybody likes to build model kits. Well, it's a good introduction for the kids and stuff.
Yeah.
All right, so we have another couple high.
Yes, the Narrative Gundam C-Packs. This was the one that was in theaters here a little while ago from Gundam Narrative. This is basically like a stripped down new Gundam with a bunch of different cycle frame additional parts on it. We got 2 of these. Has a lot of clear parts. If you guys liked Gundam Unicorn, this is very similar. In the show, it's actually called they call it the Scarecrow because you see how its armor has kind of been stripped away.
Yeah.
It's very much like a slapped together suit. They had to do it in a hurry, but a very interesting look. And this probably has like some of the coolest opening 10 minutes of a Gundam series that I've ever seen. Like the opening for this show is freaking awesome.
And released in 2019. So it's
this is fairly new. And this is on YouTube right now as well.
Very nice. High grade. All right, that's all in my box.
That's all on that one? All right, let me move.
Scoot whatever.
Scoot this up.
Scoot those over. So guys, remember, we get shipments very sporadic because of distribution or shipping or whatever it is. So that's why we do our absolute best to showcase what's coming in. We do not hold pieces in the back. We do not do pre-orders with ordering in advance. We don't do any of that. We take it old school. You got to show up in real life.
Yeah, and if you want to know what's coming in, I keep telling everyone is Discord and Instagram. Discord and Instagram, because you usually do an upgrade on Instagram when you put stuff out on the shelf.
Yes.
But usually when a box is on the way, I'll do a post on Discord as well saying, hey guys, this is coming in. So then you know to look and you know when to get there for.
Oh, so see, join our Discord. The link, I think, is in our bios throughout the interwebs. So if you're on any of the social media platforms. What else we got?
All right. So
no, we were just talking about this one. Like
this is probably this is the
evening.
coolest thing from the Warrior on the Borderline line so far, in my opinion. This is the Armored Special Carrier, the ASC. It's basically a giant truck for carrying the suits into battle. Because what you don't think about is, like, even in real life, like you see tanks on the battlefield and everything, they don't drive to the battlefield. They get in a train or a truck, and then they drive them closer to the battlefield, and then they get off. Because these things use a lot of gas.
True.
You know what I mean? So
we had a question come up, but I can't see it from this far away, Senpai.
been waiting for high-grade heavy arms, blue endless waltz, the one on the spinning disc. Oh, we'll talk about this one in a minute, but this is not a high grade. This is something. This is not even a match. It's something else. We'll talk about it. Trust me. Yeah, but the Armored Special Carrier, I think this is the coolest thing in the line because even though the scale is different, because like the Borderline suits are smaller than Gundams, they're only about half the height of a Gundam.
Right.
So this is actually 172 scale, but this truck looks really good with high grade Gundams, and like they fit in the trailer really, really well. So it looks like it fits in really, really good. And the good thing is, too, is if you pick up multiple of these, you can daisy chain truck beds together so you can pull multiple suits.
Ah, yeah, I see it right here.
Yeah, it's like some of the suits from this series are very, like, people don't know if they like them or not because the legs are a little weird. All the vehicles in this show are freaking neat as heck. They got this, the carrier, all the other ones. I can't wait to see what more they release. But yeah, the ASC, we had like
Here,
four.
I got a box over here.
Yeah, we got like 4 of those before, and they already
pass them over.
those already sold. So these will go quick. So pick them up. Okay, next, this is a cool set. This is the Zaku Ground War set. So this is not just a Zaku kit. It's a Zaku kit with a ton of accessories in it. It's a Zaku. It comes with 2 tanks, a bunch of flying trucks, tons of weaponry, extra hands. It even comes with an effect part to show like the tank turret is exploding because it got shot by the Zaku. So very neat set. This is going to be really good for anyone that wants to like do dioramas and stuff because in the early parts of the war in the show, Zeon was the only one that had mobile suits. The Federation didn't have mobile suits. They only had tanks. They had tanks and jets, and they were trying to fight these things, and that's why they were getting their butts kicked. Because you fire a gun at this thing that's 19 meters tall, it just steps on you. What does it care? Yeah, but very cool kit.
This is really
I think
cool.
we only got 1 of those, so that's not going to last.
Oh my gosh, this is amazing.
Okay, so more SD kits, but these
Does
ones.
it come with the tank?
It comes with 2 tanks.
Whoa.
Everything you see there is what it comes with. 2 tanks. It comes with 2 like these little Wappas, which are like hover bicycles,
Dang.
like scout cars, basically.
Sarah, if you're watching, I know you like Zaku.
All right, now we got some more SD kits, but these are some older designs that got reprinted. We've got the SD Knight Gundam. This is one of the first designs that was really released in the SD lineup.
This is what I was talking about.
Yeah.
This is what I was exactly was talking about, right? The bigger version of it.
This is not a cross-frame kit. Like this is not one of the ones where you actually have the
It
frame.
shows you that the armor can come off.
Yeah, because you can like strip down to the unit itself.
Okay.
It's basically like that's the character, and then when he goes into battle, he puts on the armor.
Oh, okay, cool.
Because it's like the Gundam is actually like a character.
That's dope.
All right.
Is he like a horse or something?
He
Did you
can.
see how there's an extra pair of feet?
Yeah,
back
he
there?
can transform into like a centaur mode.
Huh. That's a really. I've never seen this before.
Yeah, this is a really neat design.
That's a really nice design.
This is another one that's really good if you're new into it, or maybe you've got a significant other, because even like you might not like Gundam, but heck, it's a cool little SD Knight.
That's dope.
It's neat.
It look really cool on a shelf.
All right. And this
Sorry.
is a recent kit, but this is actually like the progenitor of the SD line. The first SD kit was the Musha Gundam.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So this is the very first one. Obviously based on a samurai, but
dope.
wearing all this samurai armor. He's got the samurai sword, the spear, all the really cool armor. But yeah, not the old. This is not like a kit from the 80s.
Yeah,
this is a
yeah.
modern version of that design, though.
Oh, so it's from 2012. So, but this was the very first SD.
The very first SD kit was the Musha Gundam, so this is neat if you have
an
like
homage to
some,
it.
some interest in it, that they go back to these older designs, and just like the other ones, they refresh them.
When
every
does
now
it?
and
Why does it say plating parts?
then. There's chrome-plated parts.
Oh.
So like these gold parts on here are not just like colored plastic; it's actually plated chrome.
Nice.
So it's a nice-looking kit. Here, we can pop them open real quick.
Yeah, that's. I'll go to camera 2 so you guys can see it. Okay, like specifically that part.
Yeah, so you can see like he's got
Camera 2.
Oh, yeah, we've got the plated gold V crest
Dang, that's
there.
awesome.
Okay.
And a lot of times people do come to Flynn's and say, well, are there parts missing? Why isn't it sealed? You have to know that a lot of the larger shops seal them because they're a lot larger, like they're bigger stores, so they can't watch everything. But I always recommend pop it open, don't destroy it, but take a look at it and see what's on the inside.
Yeah,
if
maybe
you're
take it
interested.
up to the front before you
Yeah, I
open it.
mean, whatever. We're totally cool with it.
All right, so I've
Battle
had some of
Log
these
stuff.
before, but some more of these. The Battle Log, this is the Goof Crimson Custom. Probably one of my favorites of the recolors in there. It's the Goof Custom, but in Crimson Red. Very nice kit.
Battle Log there's a series of 5, right? in the
Yeah,
series?
6 episodes, I believe.
6?
It's an ONA, so it's original net animation.
Oh, no, but there's five mechs, or no?
Well, there's like the hero suits, and then there's enemy suits they fight, and the enemy suits are these guys, which are suits from the shows, just with recolors and different pilots. Cool. Okay. So next we have a Master Grade, and this one I know people are going to want. We've had this one in the past. This is the Gundam Astray L. Yeah, it's the Astray with a giant backpack that turns into basically a bow and arrow.
And this is a master grade, so it's a 1 in 100 scale. It is
Yeah.
fairly larger. And if you come to Flynn's, I have transferred majority of the Gundam we had in the front display case to the side display case. I just got to make my little labels, and you'll see the size difference.
Yeah, but this is a very nice kit. Varun is like our resident Astray expert. He really
Yes.
likes Astray. Forgive me, this guy was going to fall
No,
over.
Varun loves the stray. He's got like pretty much every one.
I'm pretty sure he has this one, but we'll have to ask him because he'll want dibs.
Bam.
But yeah,
Master grade.
very neat kit. Sorry, that guy
No.
almost fell, so I had to jump in there.
Where's dude?
All right, so this is a new one. This is a brand new release.
Oh, new.
We're probably the first ones in the neighborhood to have this.
Oh.
Master Grade Revision Dom.
Bam.
I actually had this guy in on the last episode, the original kit. This is that one I was talking about they were doing. This is the older kit brought up to like a 1.5 standard. And let
crap.
me see, did they actually call it a 1.5? No, they do not actually say 1.5, but it's got all new art on the front. Basically, this is a kit from 99, or was it 99 or 2001? It escapes me at the moment, with a lot of improved parts, mainly new shoulders, new arms, new hands, new hip joints, new ankles, new bottoms of the feet, basically just to bring it up to a more modern standard. It's more posable. Most of the weapons are the same, but the hands have been, like the way
Yeah,
they
they
connect,
even show it here on the side.
yeah, the
They're,
way
like,
that connects,
articulated.
the way the hands connect to it is more secure. The fingers are a little bit
I
smaller,
wonder,
more
are
accurately
the
scaled.
slides, are they transfers? Are they decals?
They might. I don't think they include water slides with these, but I doubt it. Chet. You never know.
Dang, that's a lot of runners.
I don't think so.
I saw it on the side, but I couldn't tell what their indicator was.
Yeah, but this is a nice version of an older kit because this older...
No, water decals.
Oh, does it?
Yeah, using the included water decals.
Okay, so there you go. So they also give you some nice water slides on top of it. They were in there. I just probably couldn't see them. But yeah.
Darn.
This is the Dom as it is. So this is the ground type. There is more on the way of the Rick Dom, which is the space version of this one. Mostly the same, but some different weaponry. So in here is just 2 more of these guys.
So we have 3 in total. Tomorrow we open at 5 p.m., ladies and gentlemen. Don't come knocking on the door early.
Dom is a very big master grade, so make sure you got space on your shelf for him.
I always, whenever I see that sort of like flared out, what's it called, horseshoe crab type footing, it's like the bound dock?
Same, it's very similar, because what the Dom does is it does not walk. It just
hovers.
It hovers, so it's
Right.
got like big jet engines in its legs. All right, so...
On to another box, ladies and gentlemen.
Let's see, we got 2 more.
Of the ones we saw
the
previously.
so I'll just set
Yeah,
those
for sure.
aside.
Go for it, man.
Now we got some more
Battle log
kits.
stuff.
We got 2 more of my personal favorite from Battle Log, which is
Bam.
the Blazing Gundam, the God Gundam that's wearing its feet on its hands.
High grades, battle log.
Yep.
Check them out.
And then we've got the Astray Inversion, which is like a color inverted version of the Astray with the flight pack.
Battle log as well.
Battle Log as well, yeah. More Battle Log. Here. This one we haven't had in a while. The Gundam Live Lance Heaven. Basically Gundam Death Scythe, but inverted to an angel. Very cool theme. Got another one of the Goof Crimson Customs.
Why are the hands gold? Where it says Gundam Hilo, Gundam Helos.
Oh, because remember this is based on the mobile game?
Yeah.
You could take these parts and combine the kits into something of your own imagination, and you can do the same thing in the game. So those logos are the parts for in the cell phone.
okay, cool. I didn't know that.
But yeah, like you can swap these parts around and make something unique to you. Then we have the Wing Gundam Sky Zero. In the story, this is a Wing Zero that's piloted by Four Murasame from Zeta Gundam, which is, if you know anything about Gundam, is like a nightmare scenario. That's the last person you want in a suit that can destroy a colony. All right, we have the Gundam Ground Urban Combat type. This one is piloted by Yu Kajima in the Battle Log, which is like the character from the old Sega Saturn games.
Well, that's cool. I like the backpack.
Yeah, very neat kit. We have, as long as we're talking about the Gundam ground type, we have the GM ground type. This is like the grunt suit from 08th MS team. A lot of different weapons in this kit, and so a lot of options for customization. Comes with the bazooka, the machine gun, beam sabers, and a missile launcher. Nice kit.
Also comes in a master grade, because I've seen this one in master grade.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
Let's see. Pick up some more stuff here, as long as we're doing battle log stuff. So also in the vein with battle log, we have the Gundam Perfect Strike Freedom. It's basically the Freedom Gundam with all the strike pack equipment from the original Strike Gundam. Very neat looking design. It's got the giant anti-ship sword, the giant beam rifle, as well as the flight pack. It's a very cool Gundam. As long as we're on battle log, we have here, this is the hero suit from the show. This is also like the hero in the mobile game. This is the Gundam Helios.
Whoa. That's awesome.
Yeah, it's got a lot of firepower. Like it's got two cannons in the palms.
Yeah.
2 cannons on the hips, 2 cannons on the shoulders. It's just got a lot of firepower. So if you want a suit that just has a lot of guns, Gundam Helios has got you covered. All right, so in here as well, let's see, we have another urban type. All right, as long as we're on Gundam Astray, we have a high-grade Gundam Astray Blue Frame 2nd L. Just like how the Master Grade Astray Red had the giant bow and arrow, this has a giant, like,
Sword.
two-handed sword.
Nice.
Very cool kit in high grade.
Let me take it.
Yeah.
All right.
Going back to Gundam 0083, we have the GM Custom. This is like basically a GM upgraded to the point of a Gundam. Like it's only given to ace pilots. plays a pretty big role in the show. It's like a remarkably unremarkable is the way it's described in the show.
Okay. Remarkably unremarkable.
Yeah, but a very neat show, piloted by one of my favorite characters in that series, South Burning. He's like one of the older veteran pilots. He's like the leader of the test team.
Dang.
Yeah, but very neat suit. Okay, now going on to some stuff that's not Gundam. This might be up Senpai's alley. We have Magnamon from Digimon. This is one of the Figure Eye standard kits. Pretty much the same level as like a high grade, a little bit taller because the characters are bigger than Gundams in their scale. But very neat kit all the same. So if you're into Digimon, we got a couple different Digimon kits here. I think we had Bezelmon in the last box as well.
Yes.
Okay. And this is another kit that's not Gundam. This is the Dragonar 1 plus Lifter. This is from the anime Metal Armor Dragamon. Or Dragonar. Sorry, I'm getting Digimon stuck in my head. Dragonar is a show from the 80s, kind of like you would probably call it like a Gundam copycat.
Okay.
But very unique designs. If you want to have a really cool anime opening stuck in your head for weeks, look up the opening of Metal Armor Dragonar. It's a badass opening.
Oh, that's really cool that the knife is like in the hip or in the leg.
Oh no, that's the that's like the knife. It's stored in the back of the thigh.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I wonder, is it a peg probably holding it there?
I can't tell, but just so you know, this is an all new kit. Like remember we had the one a little while ago, the Elgime, which is like an older kit with some new parts. This is like that. It's an older design, but they've refreshed it and renewed it with a lot of new parts. It's really nice. I might pick up one of these too because, like I said, it's a good looking suit. Okay, so that's it for this box. I think we just have one left.
It is brand new, 2022.
Yeah. So we have one left, and there's really only one thing in it. So I'm just going to grab the one.
But there are many of it.
We have a lot of them. People were wanting this one. This is the High New Gundam in real grade. This is probably, I think the general consensus, this is going to be the best real grade that's out yet. I got 10 of these. They were on order for a long time, but I think you guys will dig them. We also have some of the decals here for these as well, so if you want to take it to the next level, we got those as well. But yes, beautiful kit, excellent color separation, a very aggressive take on
2021.
Yeah, this is a very aggressive take on a design that was already super, like intense looking. So very, very neat.
And remember, this is a real grade, so it's going to be at a 1 in 144 scale.
Yeah,
just more intricate.
Yeah, it's like a master grade at high grade scale.
Yes.
Yeah, but lots of like when you move armor, like when you move legs and stuff, armor panels move and slide. Whoa. Very, very nice kit. So yeah, if you guys were waiting on these ones, we finally got them. Grab them quick though, because I don't expect these ones to last. Like you take these to a con and they're gonna fly off the shelf.
MizuCon, end of May, all of it's going. So
yeah, so yeah, check these out. How are we doing on time?
I don't know. I can't see the thing from here, so I don't know how long we've been on live for. So maybe you can tell.
32 minutes. All
right, so we're about halfway in. So guys, once again, we constantly Ben's doing a phenomenal job at tracking pre-orders, getting all sorts of kits, not just Gundam as we saw, different model kits, accessories, tools. We could show you the camera, the wall. We have, everything. I'm looking behind us. We got markers and pens and sanding paper and nippers are on their way and accessory parts. And I mean, there's a battle bases or action bases. And then a full wall of Gundam where I don't even know where we're going to fit this stuff.
Yeah, and we have tools and stuff, clear coats, panel liners, things for doing decals, sandpapers, tons and tons of stuff. If there's anything you're looking for, we don't have everything, but we're getting more and more stuff in all the time.
Yes. So, on to, let's talk Gunpla. Ben has some very unique kits, and as he alluded to, this is not a master grade scale, or it's not a
master grade, but
it's not a master grade, but it is master grade scale. But we'll let him speak about that. And why don't you kind of like elaborate the story? Because you told me kind of like why you got it.
Yeah.
And what the logic behind it was. And we'll zoom in because obviously, something. I guess the camera turned off. So we'll zoom in here in a minute as the technical difficulties come back around. But Ben has a story behind it. When I saw it on Thursday for Build and Paint Night, which is 8 p.m. to 12 a.m., I saw it. And I was curious as to what it was.
Okay.
So here we go.
Okay, so this is the Heavy Arms Custom. I've featured some of the Heavy Arms kits in the past.
Right.
The Heavy Arms Custom is from the movie Gundam Wing Endless Waltz. Endless Waltz does this thing to where the Gundams are introduced and they look completely different than they did in the show.
Okay.
But flashbacks are shown in the movie, and that's how they look in the flashbacks. So it's just done from the aspect of, okay, if we had like more budget or this designer was working for us at the time, this is what they would have looked like all the time.
Okay.
But in recent mangas and things like that, they're treated as like upgrades. Okay, so the Heavy Arms Custom here is a very popular design, especially in North America. I mean, hard to see why with all the guns and everything like that.
America.
Yeah, but this one was piloted by Troa Barton. Obviously, it's the unit that's designed for heavy assault and intense firepower.
Right.
There is an official kit of this in Master Grade. That is not what this is.
But it is P Bandai.
It's P Bandai, and it tends to go very, very quickly when it does show up on the site.
And expensive.
And then it resells because scalpers and everything get it, and it goes for like $130 on eBay. I like supporting Bandai and all, but I'm not paying $130 for any run-of-the-mill Master Grade. Certainly not this guy. So I saw this guy come up on Gundam Place, and I've seen this guy before, and it seemed like people usually refer to it very highly. This is a Supernova kit. What that is, it's like a third-party Chinese company that does their designs, and it's not officially licensed. Like this is, they say Gundam and everything on the box, but this is not endorsed by Bandai. I'm sure it's not legal for them to do it, but it probably falls into some kind of quasi-legal ground based on where they produce it and everything like that. But this was a much better deal. This was like $90 before shipping.
Right.
And this has some stuff in it that the normal P Bandai Master Grade does not. So right off the bat, you can see that it has these double Gatling guns, but it has an additional 2 on the back. The normal suit in the movie and in the model kit did not have 4 of these. It only had 2. So right off the bat, these Chinese Supernova kit gives you an advantage if it comes with 4 of these Gatling guns. Additionally, there's all this extra armor on it, like this missile pack on the shoulder, this missile pack on the leg, and these treads on the back are not part of the normal kit. This came in many years after the movie. They did a manga called Glory of the Losers, and every suit gets additional equipment. What the Heavy Arms got was this unit called the Eagle unit, which is just additional weaponry and some high-speed tracks on its legs so it can move around faster. You can get this armor from P Bandai as well as a specialty thing, but also very expensive. So this kit came with that as well. Now, this is not a one-to-one copy of those molds. It's not like they just stole the molds and redid it. There are slight differences in it. But this armor is compatible with the official Master Grade. If I were to pop this off, it will fit on the official Bandai one. So if you don't like the Heavy Arms Custom, but you want the Eagle unit for this guy, but the Eagle unit from P Bandai is too expensive or you can't get it, you can order this and it'll fit. There are multiple releases of this kit that don't have the Eagle unit, but I got the one that had everything. Also, you can see that there's some subtle design differences. Like this is pretty much how it looked in the movie with a different color scheme.
Right.
But there are also some additional armor parts, some differences. Mainly, like you'll see, like there's like these aggressive like spikes on the toes. On various parts of the armor, there's like little gray pieces that stick out for extra detail, like additional armor. Oh, I've actually got this just to show that. But yeah, like on the side of the knee, there's some on the feet. So it's not a one-to-one copy. There's some additional parts in this that are not really part of the real design, but it's like they did something to make it look a little more different. This is my first time building one of these third-party kits, and I've always kind of been wary of them because usually the quality is a little bit lower. They tend to be a little more fiddly, but first-hand experience with it, I can say there is a lot of truth to that. But I was surprised by like a lot of things about it, like how good it is in a lot of ways. In terms of color accuracy, very, very good. Like all these things on the Gatling guns, like they have like a teal part that's recessed into the gun.
So that's not a decal?
That's not a decal. That's a different part on the inside.
Man.
Same thing with all these light teal parts on the missiles and the chest. You see how there's like a teal line?
Yeah, I
going?
see it. Yeah.
That's a separate part that's on the inside.
Oh, really?
On this guy, that's a sticker.
Yeah, I thought it was a sticker because I remember the stickers on the.
It is on this guy. So this one actually has a few things that are better than the official kit. So that's pretty surprising.
So that's a pro.
Yeah, so that's a point in its benefit. And the extra details on the armor, while that is not animation accurate, it does have a very good look about it. So, you know, if you're one of those animation accuracy purists, you might not like the take on the design, but it's like only a very slight departure. So that's a point in its favor.
So that's another pro. What's
Other
some negatives?
Well, the other pro is
What's a pro?
the other pro is the joints on this are very, very strong. He's holding up that Gatling gun on his own. Like there's no stand doing that. So that's very surprising. They also include a few neat gimmicks. Like let me go ahead and take some of these Gatling guns off. If I can get
You know, I wonder if they added those back feet things to like hold the weight.
It does assist with that, so that's a good plus to it.
Distribute the weight.
All right, so you've got the Gatling gun, but you also have these panels here, and this is not something the official kit did. You can pop these panels off like so. I'll do that on these ones as well. And if you want to have even more firepower in one hand, you can take these little adapters like so.
Make it like a two
Make it
four,
a quad Gatling gun.
that you can hold.
Yeah, and he can actually, the joints are actually strong enough to support this, which is pretty amazing on its own. Let me see if I can get that to lock in. Yeah, but you can have him hold this now, which is like a quad Gatling cannon. He can hold one of these in each arm. And the joints are strong enough to hold that up, which is pretty impressive.
Yeah, that's pretty pretty.
The other pro, and this is something I was surprised by, is I was worried about the quality of the joints. I was worried that they would be really loose and flimsy. They're actually very, very solid. Like you could have these arms on the back of the backpack actually hold the Gatling guns up over his shoulder, and the joints are so tight and strong that it actually holds it very, very well. Now, I don't know if those are going to hold up over time. They might loosen up over time, so we're going to have to see how that goes. But as a first impression, I was pleasantly surprised with how strong they were.
Dang.
Same thing with the joints in the body. Despite all this heavy armor, he's pretty solid. Like the joints hold their position very well, even despite all that weight. And like you say, it's kind of good that he has those treads on the back because they do help
Counterbalance it.
Yeah, help the balance. But the treads are removable as well, so this can lock up to the legs when not in use. All these missile pods on the legs, the chest, and everything open up just like they do on the master grade kit. But for things about this guy that are difficult, you want to talk about small parts. This has a ton of very, very small and easy to lose parts. Like, I don't know if I can see it on the camera, but you see like these two panels on the back of the head? Those are separate parts, these little gray panels, and those pop off and fly off across the room very, very easily. This is not unique to this kit, but all these doors on all the missile pods, pain in the butt to cut out because there's just so many of them. You will kind of get tired of that, but that's on the normal kit as well.
Now, are the inserts where you can see the missiles themselves, are those
Separate parts.
Whoa.
Yeah, so it's a lot of pieces. Where there are some problems, and you will come across this a few times in the kit, is seam lines are pretty noticeable. Like there's a very glaring seam on all the Gatling guns across the board.
So you have to do some cleanup.
So if you were going to paint this, you would have to do some pretty heavy cleanup. And the nature of these molds is a little bit, how to say, cheap.
Dirty? No,
Not
dirty
even,
part.
not even, I'll talk about that because that's an issue too. But like normally Bandai parts, you can only assemble one way. There's no way to do it wrong.
Backwards.
Because if you were to try and do it backwards, it just wouldn't fit. You could build this part backwards and you could do that on a lot of parts in this kit. I'm sure it's just done that way for convenience on the manufacturer's sake, for the sake of molds, but there are a lot of duplicate parts. So, you know my method of usually cutting everything out and putting it in the bin and then cleaning it all up and then assembling after the fact? This time that really worked against me because a lot of parts were just mirrored and I couldn't tell off the top of my head. Because normally I don't even look at the book. I just build it off of memory because I've seen this stuff so many times. This one threw me off. So this took me like a day longer than usual because I had to tear apart and reassemble a few parts, but that's more to my weird way of building things. But it's something to keep in mind. There are a lot of extra parts with this because to keep costs down, because it's a third-party manufacturer, they will just give you duplicates of molds. So you have the option, if you wanted to, of building like the heavy arms with, instead of this teal color for the armor parts on the missiles, you could build it in the dark blue. Not really intended, but you just have the runner, you could do it. Same thing with the head. You could build the head in the dark blue rather than the teal. Like I said, the small parts, I did lose a couple parts on this, like 3 different parts. I found 2 of them, and the one I could not replace, I actually had to make a new one. Let me show you. But it's kind of interesting because the kit kind of gave me a way to do it unintentionally. Let me show that here. If you see these gray pieces on the side of the leg, there's on the side of the foot, are these little panels?
Yeah, I see them.
That's the other thing. Some parts were a little fiddly. I will say that too, on this kit, you're probably better off gluing a lot of parts just to keep them secure.
Oh, that's actually a piece.
Yeah, that's a piece.
Holy crap.
That one you pulled off, you better not lose because that's one of the ones I lost.
It's a piece, bro.
Here.
No, I popped it back on.
That's a good one to show, though.
Oh, okay, here, I'll pop it off.
No,
here.
never mind.
Okay.
You got it. But yeah, I lost one of these, and I don't know if you can tell, but this one is a replacement one I made. Just by cutting a piece off of one of the runners in the kit and
shaped it.
And sanded it into shape. Like, it's really difficult to tell. It's not the intended part. But just to do a comparison, if you look at the side of the heavy arms leg there on the inside, and compare it to this, to see the extra detail, like these gray parts showing through are not on here. These additional parts here where you see on the armor are not shown there. But you can take this armor, like the Eagle unit, and fit it onto this kit still. So that's a neat thing. That you're not committed to use it as it is. And I might not display this guy with the Eagle unit because I like him to look as he did in the movie. And I might instead put the Eagle unit on this guy since, he's never showed up in animation anyway. It's kind of a different thing. To switch between the Eagle unit is not a simple process. There are a few things you have to disassemble to do it. Mainly these shoulder spikes where the Eagle unit attaches. If you want to have the normal movie version, you have to take the shoulder apart and replace this gray spike with this yellow one.
This is really interesting. But the thing is, like, handling it, and I encourage anybody who's interested in getting third-party kits to find somebody who has it. I know Wenz is big into third-party stuff.
He's built quite a few of them.
And Plama Playmore on Instagram. And to handle it and touch it, it feels cheaper.
The plastic quality...
It feels cheaper.
The plastic quality is good, but it definitely is different.
Especially if you handle a lot of model kits and you know what the Bandai and stuff feels like.
Yeah, it feels weird to say that you can tell like a different plastic by touching it, but you can tell.
And it's also interesting too, I don't know what you would call it, but the details underneath the armor is not as detailed as the Bandai does on the reverse side of the kit. I don't know if you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, like it's like the inside of the molding, like where you'd see the armor.
Yeah, like on the feet and things like that on the inside and outside of the kits.
Yeah, and you can see a little bit here, like the kind of thing I'm talking about. Like, this is kind of fiddly. Like, this armor falls off here just because it's heavy. Like, you'd probably want to glue this in. And there's lots of little parts on this I did glue just for my own sanity's sake. And you see how fast I normally build kits. This took me like twice as long as normal. So that's an indicator of how much more
also the
complicated
instructions.
The instructions are not bilingual. That's something to keep in mind. They're very, very simple. The images in them are very, very simple. And it can be sometimes difficult with the way the instructions are to tell how things are assembled. Like, the images just are not quite as well designed. So it's something to take into account. The plastic, this is something that you see a lot with older kits. They come, when you have the runner, you want to wash these before you even cut them off the runner.
So tell people, what do you mean by wash them?
When you're making any kind of plastic model or statue or anything like that, there's an agent you put inside the mold to make it release easier. Just like you would say, like Crisco inside of a pan so it doesn't stick.
Yeah.
It's the same way with plastics. You put like something inside the mold so that you can remove the plastic at the end and it doesn't stick to the mold. Usually, like when you get a Bandai kit, there's very little release agent on it. You usually don't have to wash your runners or anything like that, but you will hear some older modelers talk about it because it was something you used to have to do. This guy, the runners, like as I pulled them out of the bags, the runners were like greasy. So, and you don't want to have that because it gets on your hands, it gets on other stuff, and it will mess up your paint if you're going to paint this. So recommend you wash it. The bags that the actual runners came into felt really, really bad, like just trashy. So I don't know if that was part of the oily feel, but
So what did you do to wash it?
I put it all in the tub with some dish soap and just lightly scrubbed it with like a toothbrush. But that's the kind of thing you want to do. And even then, before I paint this guy, I'm going to want to go over the whole thing with soap and a scrub one more time because you do not want that stuff messing up your paint. Another advantage this has, though, is a lot of times with Bandai kits, you have to buy water slide decals. This comes with water slide decals, and it has the proper markings and everything like that. So the correct decals, the names, and everything like that. They're light because there's like the paper behind it. But if you were to take this out, yeah. But very nice decals and everything that come with it. I will eventually decal and paint this guy up. But like I said, I'm going to go through the whole thing one time, clean it up, probably glue some parts down. But I'm very torn on it to whether or not this is better than the official master grade. It's kind of like a 50-50. But the point is that I had this. I'm just as a matter of principle, I'm not paying $130 for a master grade kit.
Plus shipping.
Plus shipping, yeah. And especially on eBay, I don't encourage scalpers. So, but it's interesting for me dipping my toes into this third party thing. I think I'll do a little bit more of it in the future to see what kind of stuff there is, especially for things like these, just the additional armor units.
Right.
For some of these kits, like there's ones for the high new Gundam, for like the heavy weapon system and stuff like that. I see a lot, so maybe something like that will be something we check out. And I know you had also talked to the guy that's a supplier for these things, and we're talking about getting some of those in here as well. So if you've been looking for third-party stuff, we might have some of that in the future.
Yeah, the one thing with third-party, for right now, if you guys want to check out third-party kits, go see our friend Jamie over at Gundam Place.
Yeah.
Online, Gundam, and then Place, or The Gundam Place, I believe it is, on Instagram.
Yeah.
And other social media platforms. Jamie's a great guy, more than willing to answer any and all questions. Remember, when you do buy a third-party kit, like Ben said, you're going to run into these intricacies that you may or may not be prepared for.
Yeah.
And then also just be mindful, like Ben said, and I even have seen it, if you buy a P Bandai kit on eBay or aftermarket, always check that kit, because the mere fact I've seen stuff come incomplete, pieces are missing,
Yeah.
so on and so forth, because they know how valuable those pieces
Well,
are.
that, and just to clarify, this is third party.
That's the third party,
It's
yes.
not advertised as official.
Right,
There are
exactly.
kits that you can buy on eBay that are legit knockoffs. Like it's the Bandai box and everything like that, and it's just stolen molds.
So
That
this is a third party, this is his own rendition.
This is its own thing. It's not stolen molds. You can look at it, and parts are very, very close, and they are compatible, but it is not a straight-up copy of an existing kit.
It's just different enough.
It's just different enough to be its own thing. And like I said, if you had the official master grade and this next to each other, there's obvious differences between them in style and look and everything like that to know that it's its own thing. And I like that they try to make it their own thing and improve by doing like that, the teal designs
Or the
being
additional accessory kit.
the additional accessory kits. Having even the Eagle unit couldn't do that quad Gatling gun. That's unique to this.
Right.
Nothing else does the quad Gatling gun. So that's interesting. But yeah, third-party kits, something to keep an eye on. This one I was always really highly talked about, and I can see why. But I think I'd be pretty cautious about doing anything like this again. So just something to keep in mind.
Maybe watch some review videos about it of people you
I
trust.
had watched some review videos, and that's the thing. That people are like, "Oh no, it's great, it's this level," and I'm just like, I built a lot of master grades, and I would never have said that this was like a master grade kit, especially comparing it to modern ones, because this is like a 10-year-old kit.
Right.
But in terms of like how solid it is, this is still way more solid than this guy.
We had a question come in and said, how did you... What?
How do you feel about resin kits? I've done some resin kits, but it's mostly like anime girls and stuff like that. Not like because you can buy like You remember like the 1 Year War Gundam? Like
Yes.
the one you liked that had like the teal frame?
Yeah.
You could buy that suit and just have the skeleton.
Really?
And then you could go online to some of these companies that are doing like their own molds and buy like armor to turn it into some completely different suit.
Oh, okay. So it's an exterior.
It's an exterior, things like that. Like I think that's what he's talking about. But they're resin conversion. They're usually called conversion kits. It's to take something that exists and to convert it. And usually for a long time, it was literally like a guy in like a garage who did his custom thing and made molds of it. And you get them, and there's usually like a ton of work you have to do to get it to anywhere to make it work on a kit. It's not just like this where it was just you build it and, you know, the problems aside, this was all in the box ready
Well, with
to go.
the age of 3D printing, resin printing, I mean, is it possible? Are people actually resin printing parts and Gundam and stuff like that?
People have to be doing it. I mean, has to be.
Yeah, I
but
haven't run into it.
My experience with it was that people like even like modern statues and stuff like that, they're 3D assisted design, but classically is like they would mold it themselves.
Whoa.
Like Gunpla and everything is designed in CAD, but like
Right.
statues and B Club style stuff was usually like sculpted.
Whoa.
You know,
And then put into a mold.
and then a master was made of it. I haven't dealt a lot with third-party stuff. I'm sure they've advanced, but it seemed like Japan was always a little bit behind the curve in adopting some new stuff. So who knows? I'm sure there's somebody doing it.
Dang. Well, there you have it. He's read into it and dabbled into it.
Yeah.
But all in all, 1 out of 10. 10 being the highest, the bad, good. 1 being eh. What would you give it?
If I had to give like these guys a score, like in master grade, this is like an 8.
Okay.
This is like a 6.
Okay.
It's not bad. 5 is average. It's not bad to be a 6.
And also think about it. $90, including shipping.
Yeah, $90 and then shipping, and like I said, you get a lot for it.
So you saved yourself probably like $50.
Even the most extreme Gundam fan is not going to treat this like an action figure. They're going to paint it up, put it on their shelf. It's going to stay there. I think as this thing is going to be a display piece with really a lot of menacing looking guns, I think it's going to be fine. The only thing that really might change my mind is a stay away. Might be like in a year from now, if the joints are no longer solid, if it's like a really loose, floppy mess, then I would say an immediate no. Because taking this thing apart when it's got all these little bits and pieces would be a real pain.
Also, you mean gluing pieces together, so.
Yeah, and some of the stuff I'm gluing together on this is like stuff I'm going to have to mask off when I paint because I can't double paint it. So it's just the kind of thing like where even if you were going to build this, you probably want to assemble it all one time just to make sure everything fits correctly and to get an idea of how you're going to approach the paint, because there's lots of seam lines you have to hide as well, and then approach it later. So it's kind of like build once, take it apart, then paint it, and then build it again.
And with having these two, actually, it's a perfect example to show scale difference.
Yeah.
We talked about it earlier in the stream, where the one in front is the heavy arms high grade
Yeah.
at a 1 in 144 scale. Behind it, obviously, it's supposed to be a 1 in 100 scale.
Yeah, the
master
grade.
grade scale. And you can see the difference in size. Have they released a real grade version of this?
Are the heavy arms? No.
So,
I don't know if they ever will.
the intricacy would be nuts.
Real grades are usually reserved for like hero suits. Not to say that Trove is not one of the heroes, but there's a cast of 5 heroes. He's like a secondary character.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it definitely shows you what you're getting yourself into should you desire to build a master grade versus a high grade. And like Ben said, with the third-party stuff, took them a little bit longer, and that's a lot coming from you.
Yeah, well, a lot of that was, like I said, because of my own weird way of
The
building
style.
things.
If you see him, he's cutting these pieces in a freaking box.
Yeah,
It's going by memory.
And as I was doing it, too, I was like, why do I have so many of the same part? Because I'm like, there's only 6 missile panels. Why do I have, like, 12 of these panels? And it was because there was the extra runner of the different color stuff. And like I said, I didn't even stop to do it because I was just like, oh, I got to finish this for the stream. But yeah, it probably ended up costing me like half a day.
So where do we sit on time? Because I had a couple of questions. I want to make sure where we're at.
58:42.
All right, cool. So a couple ending questions. Make sure that we didn't miss anything. Senpai, were there any questions on there that we missed?
He was asking about the resin kits.
Shout out to Senpai for hicking this all up. What was the first question?
Chris Clark is in there. He's like a cosplayer I know in Colorado.
Chris.
Yeah.
What was the top question? I can't read that top one.
Oh, that was
Down, that one.
Been waiting for high grade, heavy arms, blue endless waltz. Yeah, the one on the spinning disc. Yeah, he was talking about this guy.
Oh,
They don't
okay.
have the movie version in high grade.
Right, we've talked about that.
They have the old one, like it's not high grade, but it came out in like 98. But it's like, you probably wouldn't want it.
But they showed the color of the old one on the back of these boxes. On one of the boxes, they showed the blue one.
Yeah, this guy. Because
okay.
like I said, they went, in the movie, it only looked like this. In the flashback, it looked like this. They've gone back to that and said, okay, well, it was actually like this, but you never saw it that way. And then it got upgraded to this. That's all like retcon.
Okay.
The Gundam canon is like, you can't take it like to heart. It's just like, the animators do what they want to do, and a few years later, when they decide they need to make more money by using old molds, they will go back to an old mold and say, okay, this is the heavy arms as it looked in this different kind of scenario, or that kind of scenario, and it has this different armor and equipment. In the show, heavy arms never used additional equipment with more missiles and stuff like that.
Okay.
The most it ever did was it went to space, it got a different backpack and an extra gun, and that was it.
Cool.
But like I said, you get these out there designs that maybe show up in a couple of frames from a manga, or you get stuff like this where it's a third-party one. It never looked like this. It kind of looked like that, but there's like additional details and stuff on it that never existed.
So I think that's all the questions. I think that was everybody.
Yeah.
And of course, guys, remember, I think Ben hit on a great point. We are beginning, it's awesome because the Flynn's building community and family is growing. We get a lot of questions through Instagram, various social media platforms. I'm always most likely going to direct you to Ben and bother him with the questions. So be sure to join our Discord. The links are in all our Instagram bios and social media bios.
Cannot stress the Discord enough for knowing what's going on for the Gundam community.
Yes, and there's no offense in terms of people do ask me about, do you have a list of how many Gundam you have, or what you have in stock, or how much it is? Or
he's got too much to do already. No offense, don't bother him. He needs to focus.
I'm steering the ship. I'm keeping this thing going. So, but anyways, it's no offense. I'm simply going to say the same thing every single time. I'm going to direct you to Ben, and you have to come in. We're keeping it old school here. We had a comment come in.
Yeah, I'm the guy doing all the orders and everything like that. So if there's something you're looking for, I'm going to know anyway.
Yeah, and remember, pre-orders, guys, this is not order on demand. We're ordering 3, 4, 5, 6 months in advance.
Don't forget that Linkin Park liked Gundam. That's true. Linkin Park, I've never seen the kit come up for sale or anything, but they had an album. What was it called?
They had a robot on it.
No, well, they had. You're thinking of Reanimation, where it had a Zaku on it, the old one from when I was in high school. Yeah. But they had a more recent album. I think it was called Something of the Sun. But the album cover was all the team dressed up in Gundam uniforms, like all of the Linkin Park members, and then they had a Gundam full of Vernian behind them that was customized in black and white, like as their color scheme. And you could buy that model kit, and it came with like the album or something in Japan.
Dude, I want to see like those model kits that you see exclusive to Japan, like the 7-Eleven.
I actually saw one at Cryan Anime the other day. That anime shop.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
in Tamarack, yeah.
Because they just buy like stuff that got random in a box sometimes, and they had like a Gundam kit that you get out of a crane machine over there.
Like, cool.
You'd have a crane machine that picks up a ball. Inside the ball is a letter, and if you got the letter A, you got the good prize. Letter A was the 1 year war version of the Gundam, like the one you have in the case.
Yeah.
But it was all clear. And the only way you get that is from that crane machine.
That's cool.
So it's kind of neat how stuff shows up like that. My girlfriend's like, "You want that?" I'm like, I kind of do, but I don't really collect clear kits. I kind of just want it because I don't see it ever.
Exactly. Well, that's a great shop to check out. Cryan Anime.
Cryan.
I always mispronounce it. Cryan. They're in the Publix Plaza, I believe, off of 441. Or University?
No, that's on University. But
University, it's in Tamarack.
It's like 2 or 3 streets north of Tate's.
So they got an amazing. My hat goes off to them because they probably have the best selection of anime statues.
Yeah,
like stuff you don't see.
Yeah, I bought like a fake Go statue there for Shirley for Valentine's Day.
And plus, they're really cool people, husband and wife. They do everything for the community. They're a lot like us, and they're in Publix, really easy to find. So. And of course, guys, if you have any questions, by all means, hit up Ben directly. Did you have anything else, Ben? Or are you pretty much
no,
good?
That's pretty much it. I mean, probably next build night, I'll have this guy doing some more work on him. But yeah, that's pretty much it for me.
And let me hit on, okay, so build and paint night we have every Thursday from 8 p.m. to 12 a.m. We've been getting asked a lot, is it still going on? It is still going on. I don't have any ideas to stop it. But if you are looking for a place to build outside of your home, any day of the week that we are open, we have plenty of tables. Come over here. Ben's come out sometimes to work on cosplay stuff. Natalie has. Everybody's welcome. Just simply let the individual at the counter know you want to build or you're working on some sort of project, and we'd be more than happy to, accommodate you appropriately. The only thing I have to say is be careful if you're working with some sort of solvents, sprays, heat guns, anything that could be toxic, fumes.
Don't bring in your bandsaw.
Yeah, or if you want to bring your sewing machine in, we do have people bring in sewing machines. Just let me know in advance so we can make sure I have the dedicated space. And if you're doing some sort of spray, literally just step out to the back door in the alleyway, spray it, let it dry or whatever, and come back in. That's the only thing I ask. But anyways, guys, a great episode of What's in That Box and Let's Talk Gunpla. We went into great detail about this third-party kit that Ben picked up from our friends at Gundam Place.
Yeah.
Be sure to check them out. All in all, Ben seems really satisfied with it.
No, I'm happy. It just to put a pin on that, it definitely did fill the gap I had in my collection. I wanted a heavy arms custom. This is a very, very good way to fill that. I'm not disappointed by it.
No.
I just think it was like an interesting learning experience for me as to how to deal with some of the third-party kits.
And Gundam Place, they seem very forward with their shipping. In terms of straight to the door.
He shipped this in a day. I got it right away.
He's got them in stock. Jamie seems very good about it.
I don't know if he still has them in stock now.
Well, no, then.
Yeah.
But when he has stuff in stock, he ships it. It's not about
Yeah, it ships right
maybe
away.
3 weeks
and
later down the
like
road.
I said, good guy. He helped us out with our contest
100%.
sponsorships a couple times now.
100%. So check them out, The Gundam Place. Jamie and the crew are really great people. As always, guys, we really appreciate you tuning in to Let's Talk Gunpla and What's in That Box. Everybody out there in TikTok land and YouTube and Facebook and everywhere else, thank you so much for tuning in. Be sure to check Ben out at MizuCon along with S15 and Cody as they're doing a bunch of panels. We will also be doing probably a premium panel. We've been hoarding some different entry grade model kits. I'll let MizuCon launch that information, and then stay tuned for any upgrades or any announcements we have. We have our Cosplay FanFest episode 5 on the 30th with our cosplay contest and karaoke and Nate and all that kind of cool stuff. Everybody's welcome. And then in terms of the Gundam stuff, we will be planning a movie night, hopefully sooner than later, once we get some details worked out, because I know everybody enjoys those movies. So anyways, guys, appreciate you. Be sure to join our Discord, as Ben said. And you can check and find Ben on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube.
Yeah, pretty much everything is.
Google his name.
Uber's Cosplay.
Uber's Cosplay. The dude with the, not life-size Gundam, but the Gundam
112 scale.
There, 112 scale. Stuff you can wear.
Yeah.
And are you selling any? Are you selling any kits?
Kits?
Or not kits, I mean suits.
The Gundam Unicorn is for sale.
Okay, so the Gundam Unicorn, if you want a Gundam Unicorn in your house, or for whatever you want it for, hit up Ben and work out the details with him. Do you ship or no?
Yeah, I've shipped internationally.
Okay, so one of a kind Gundam suits. Hit up Ben. I'm sure that he's got very small dog, not small dog, but very like not prissy dogs. He's got dogs, so you could use the money. Okay, guys, we know this. I know
expensive.
This. They are expensive. They're purebreds. They're expensive, regardless. So help support Ben.
They eat a lot.
Help support Ben with his Ben and Shirley with his dog fund. Anyways, guys, appreciate you. Love you all. Hope to see you at Cosplay Fan Fest. Build and Paint Night. We're always here to help any way we can. If you got nowhere to go, come to Flynn's. We're always here for you. All right, guys, as always, we will see you on the flip side, and we will catch you guys later.
Take care.
Take care, guys.